This is BC Lions on Tap on AM 730 in the Lions Audio Network. It's the Moj, Bob Marjanovic, along with Matt Baker and Nick Kowalski from the Lions broadcast team, coming to you from the Rendezvous Pub in Langley. And a big thank you to Happy and the crew here at Rendezvous Pub for having us. Matt Baker, Lions coming off a big win, knocking off the Calgary Stampeders by 28 points. We'll get into that in a bit. And now the Saskatchewan Roughriders coming up.
Yes, fifth and final installment of this 5-week Western swing. 3 out of 4 so far. Started with a win over Saskatchewan in Week 7, 19-9. So a chance to get 4 out of 5 and wrap up another season series against another division rival. Lots at stake here. Should be good.
And, you know, Nick Kowalski, crazy. Steve Daniel, the statistician from the CFL, came up to us prior to the game. He said it was the biggest swing that he could find in CFL history dating back to, I guess, 58. And it was a 63-point swing, and that is the 27-0 win against Edmonton and then losing to Winnipeg by 36, so it's 63. So then when the Lions knock off Calgary by 28, that's a 64-point swing. Yeah. So in a matter of 3 weeks, you've seen some crazy swings with this BC Lion team. But one thing's for sure, after what we saw against the Calgary Stampeders, it's pretty safe to say the game against Winnipeg was an outlier.
Well, we've seen this story before, too, right? After Toronto losing in that fashion, going in there with VAs throwing 6 picks and then bouncing back against Montreal the following week, right? So we've seen this story before, and Rick Campbell's talked about this, that it's better to have these hiccups and better to have these to overcome these adversities early in the year instead of later in the year when the games matter more, or heaven forbid it's a playoff game, right? So it's nice to see this team bounce back and be led again with Vernon Adams Jr.
Well, one of the things that it does, it gives you a reference point as a team, right? I mean, you know, if things don't go right, you don't allow things to snowball. And this is what we've seen from this Lions team this year. They just bounce back and just get back at it. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that with our guest here at the Rendezvous Pub in Langley. He is running back Taquan Mizzell, making his way here to Langley. Smoke, thanks for stopping by.
Thank y'all for having me.
There we go. And you get a round of applause.
It's a packed house in here tonight. Love it.
All right. Before we even get into football, let's talk a little bit about Taquan Mizzell's journey here.
Long journey.
Virginia. You played college football at the University of Virginia. You played a little bit with the Chicago Bears. New York Giants are there. You come up. Sometimes you kind of like pinch yourself and go, how did I ever wind up here? But it is, you know, it's a great experience, I imagine. But
sure.
I imagine as a little kid, you didn't ever think you'd be a BC Lion.
Nah, I didn't. As a kid growing up, I didn't know about the BC Lions. You know, obviously like a fan of like the NFL or whatever. But, you know, going undrafted and, you know, going through a lot of battles, you know, within the NFL, you start, you know, football is just a dream as it is, you know. Just playing professional football is such a blessing at any level. So, you know, I wanted to start opening up and seeing what was going on everywhere else outside of just NFL.
And, you know, Bake, you guys did a great job of documenting some of the things that Smoke went through to get up here at bclions.com. But it's an amazing story when you think about the adversity that you've overcome.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, last year you were ready to come to training camp. You were one of the running backs brought in, and we were excited. I mean, NFL experience, going to be a great competition with James Butler and a couple others. And then all of a sudden it kind of took a sharp turn. Explain to our listeners the roadblocks you went through.
That was a long journey. So kind of a long story short, 2 days before training camp, I was in like excruciating pain. I couldn't eat, drink, any water, sleep pretty much. And it was my mom who wanted me to go to patient first to get checked out. And I got my blood drawn, you know, tested. And the only thing that came back was that I was, like, dehydrated. So I tried to, the next day, they gave me, like, pills. I couldn't keep it down. And once I went to after I left patient first, I went to go get an IV. And I had to get, like, a scan before I got the IV. And it was just, like, it came up that I needed emergency surgery on my appendix. So they gave me an option saying, you know, you can get the surgery right now, or we can give you antibiotics, but it's still like a 30 or 40% chance that it'll burst. And I'm like, no, we got to do the surgery. Yeah. And that'll be only missing like a couple of weeks, and I'll be able to get up to BC probably a little later. And while I was recovering from my surgery, my Louis Vuitton bag was stolen that had my passport in it. and I didn't get another passport to the end of the year.
See, that's a rookie mistake right there. You got a Louis Vuitton bag. You don't leave a Louis Vuitton. It was in your car, right?
It was in my car.
No, dude, you don't leave a Louis Vuitton bag lying around in the car. That's just like kind of like, steal me, please.
For sure. I probably would have had it outside the car if I could have been moving around a little better, but it was just like when it rains, it pours. It was just like, that was just like the story of my life. I was telling him, like, the appendix was just like the icing on the cake of what I was going through within those 2 years of not playing football.
So you play with a chip on your shoulder then, in the sense that you've had to overcome a lot to get here.
Most definitely.
Yeah. When you look at the CFL and you come up here, there's so many Americans, particularly guys with NFL experience. Saw it recently where some guys walk in and they just think, hey, I'm going to – we'll leave that one alone. Where some guys just walk in and they think they're going to own the place, right?
For sure.
But, you know, were your eyes open a little bit when you first came up here?
Most definitely. But like I said, like, football is a violent sport as it is. I would never approach it as a running back. I'm not even the biggest guy as it is of, you know, I'm bigger than the game or I'm bigger than the organization, you know, because at any given moment it can be you. So it's just like I didn't really know what to expect. I got like the ultimate confidence in myself, but I was just very excited to get back on the field, get in a team environment again, feel that love and continuity. So that was just like the main thing for me, because it's just always a dream of just being on the team, just playing fun, you know, having fun playing football. So I didn't really know what to expect, but I was definitely like, the year that I wasn't playing, I had this time to sit and watch it for a whole year, and I'm like, yeah, people don't know what's going on up here. It's a lot of ballers up here. It's not a step down. It's like, it's still high-level competition. It's just people not exposed to it.
Speaking of your journey, pre-Chicago and pre-signing here originally in 2022, you were a member of the Chicago Bears, and according to the research I did, you played in the Thanksgiving Day game at Detroit, and you caught a touchdown from Chase Daniel.
Yeah.
Just your memories of that, and what was it like being part of that U.S. Thanksgiving tradition? Because just watching it on TV every year, Smoke, it's a big deal.
Yeah, that was. That's something I never forget. So this another long story short. So, like, I know Christmas was coming up soon or whatever. I was asking my mom, like, what she want, and I was on the practice squad at the time. She was like, I want you to score a touchdown. So I was working, like, grinding on the practice squad for like the first 7 weeks, and I got the call, you know, you've been working hard, we're going to move you up. And it was Thanksgiving game, and Chase, you know, Trubisky was out that game. And, you know, he was doing his little filming, and he seen a play that Alvin scored on Detroit, like running the same route, and he wanted me to run it.
Wow.
So that was my first game up. Thanksgiving Day, so all my family's at home, you know, having Thanksgiving, watching a game, and it was just like, for me to get that touchdown was just like a big moment for my family, just even for me personally. So that was an awesome moment.
I hate to be the Debbie Downer here too, but you dressed in the infamous double doink game in the playoffs. I mean, like, I think it was Cody Parkey, that's the name of the kicker. I don't know if we're gonna throw him under the bus here, but like, watching that happen, do you remember like the thought in your mind?
See, that was a heartbreaker, like, for sure. Like, that's just the beauty of football, but it's just like sometimes you're on the good side of it, sometimes you're on the bad side of it. But it was just like those times when it's just like, you know, this is the team, you know, this is the moment where y'all can get over the hump, and it's just like in a split second that all is taken away from you. And it was just like, man, I know, and I felt sorry for him. I was, you know, personally and selfishly, we was kind of mad about the team, but I felt sorry for him, you know, getting death threats. You know, I don't know if he had a fan, you know, like kids or whatever, but that was kind of tough, though.
All right, we'll take a quick break. More with Lions running back Smoke Mizzell coming up on the next segment. This is BC Lions on Tap on AM 730 in the Lions Audio Network. Welcome back. You're listening to BC Lions on Tap on AM 730 in the Lions Audio Network. It's the Moats, Bob Marjanovic, along with Matt Baker and Nick Kowalski from the Lions Audio Network. And running back Smoke Mizzell, we're coming to you tonight from the Rendezvous Pub in Langley, and a big thank you to Happy and his staff for having us here again. Smoke, we were talking about this season thus far, and, you know, the game recently, well, last week I should say, against the Calgary Stampeders. You caught a touchdown pass in that game. We're talking about that in the break. Way back in prehistoric times when I played, we had an expression for a play like that. it was oh, and I'll just say the next word rhymes with hit. All right? Were you kind of having that, oh,
that was my moment, yeah.
Like when you're juggling the ball going into the end zone and thinking, can I hang on to this thing, or is this
I'm like, please don't. Please, not today. Not today. So, once you get like the first one, hopefully they start like rolling in. I'm like, you don't want to mess up that easy opportunity. Yeah. So I'm happy I was able to capitalize on it, though, for sure.
Talk about the offense right now and the way it's clicking with Vernon Adams Jr. quarterback. It just, one of the things Julio Caravetta brought up in the broadcast, you look at the distribution and like everyone's getting the ball. It's not like guys are just getting zeroed in on, right?
Right, and I've been talking like with the guys. This is probably the best team I've been on, where it's like this many weapons. So it's just like it makes everybody's job easier. So you just can't key in on one guy. VA doing a great job leading us. The offensive line, this is the best offensive line I ever played with. And to have this many receivers on top of our defense giving us so many opportunities, we couldn't ask for a better team right now.
Both of your touchdowns have been receptions. How much do you pride yourself on that versatility being used as a receiver?
I always pride myself on that. Just growing up, not being the biggest back, you try to find ways to be special. It's a lot of backs that can run for 1,000 yards, but it's not a lot that can catch out the backfield or, utilize other things. So that was something that I really wanted to, make one of my strengths. So for sure.
Man, and that spin move, I think the film's out on you now. You got that spin move. Man. When did that get into your arsenal? Was that something you were doing back in Virginia?
I was like heavy on basketball at a point in time, and that was like my favorite move on the court. And just growing up, you just keep repping it, and it just became one of my favorite moves, though. Yeah, for sure.
Did you there's times when you spin and it's like, oh, I imagine there's been a couple times where you've spun and you got slobber knocked.
I done got hit a couple times, but it's like on the spin, they ain't catch on to it yet. So I'm hoping that it'll keep on working.
You were talking about the team, and the term that you guys always use is the guy's a dude. Right, you do have, quote, a lot of dudes on this team, guys that can play, good ballers. But, the one thing when you talk to people with this team is just the chemistry. Yeah. Right, it's just, guys will say coming from the NFL or college, it's more like a college environment where, there's no cliques. It's not about the money. Everybody's kind of on the same page and pulling on the rope in the same direction.
I feel like comparing to college is probably like the best, comparison for it because, that's like the best time of your life. Like, these guys are like your brothers. So, a lot of time in pro football, guys move around a lot, so it's kind of hard to, sustain, good relationships. But it's, from the minute I got here, it was just, I've been feeling like I was here last year. But it's just, the vibes, everybody on the same page from the staff to the players. So it's just, when it's out there, we just know what the goal is.
Who are some of the players that established that vibe, that chemistry? When you came in, you were a newcomer. Who are some of the guys that you kind of saw that were the leaders of the team and kind of established everything?
As far as the leaders go, I would say obviously VA, Rhymes, TJ Lee, the guys older guys that's kind of been here. But as far as that part goes, that was that's as a whole. It's a little something that we do every morning. When we introducing our special team coach, the team go crazy. We go crazy for them, and it's just if this your first day, it's it's gonna blow your mind how much energy we have in the morning, and it's every single day. So it's just you either with it or you're not. Because it's not one man bigger than the team. It's all about us right now. So it's just that environment is just rubbing off on everybody.
Saskatchewan Sunday, we were there in preseason, of course. Got out of there just before the rainstorm and the monsoon started. That was fun times. But what did you some people got left behind the team bus. We're not going to mention any names, but the gentleman sitting to my left. But long-winded question here, but what did you like most about that environment? Because some of the veterans have probably told you that Saskatchewan game day environment pretty fun. Probably one of the nicest road stadiums in the league, too. So
there's definitely – I would say the thing that caught me the most was the stadium. Obviously, it was a preseason game, so it was still a good environment. But everything in Canada has pretty much been blowing my mind. Like, I was in Kamloops, and I'm like, every single day I'm waking up and I go to the field, and you seeing mountains while you practicing, it's like I couldn't.
Yeah.
It was easy to be motivated. So it's just like going from Kamloops to Saskatchewan. I think I said that right. But
yeah, not bad. Yeah.
When you
just
go,
say it fast. Yeah.
So a lot of guys say, there's nothing there. There's nothing there, compared to Vancouver. But it's like, to me, I wouldn't know the difference. So everything is just amazing to me. So,
how much of Vancouver have you had the chance to explore thus far?
Probably like maybe like not as much, but each home game we do something. Like obviously we've been winning at home, so we'll get a chance to eat out, vibe with the guys. So it's like that's also, we just don't have team chemistry like just on the field and in the locker room. We hang together.
Yeah. Like
we make sure we're okay. Like that type of stuff. That's when the team is really clicking for sure.
I thought I saw you one time on the road eating with the old lineman. Was that?
That's that's a tradition now. Like, that's one thing I know about them. They gonna find the best place to eat, and that's what we've been doing.
Oh, they know.
Yeah, just hanging with the old lineman.
And I think the one time we didn't. I don't know if we won or not. I'm not saying it like that, but it was like, no, this is what we're going to keep doing.
It could have been Toronto.
It was.
Hey, before we let you go, what's this team have to do to be successful and get out of Regina with a win on Sunday?
Just keep taking things like one day at a time. It's a long season. So, this is another tough game this week. We don't take no opponents lightly. This is a tough Rough Rider team that I didn't get a chance to play against the first time. And I actually got the chance to watch from the side, and I was pretty impressed, even though we came out with the win. So, and the West is kind of it's a little tougher, honestly. So it's like we just know how serious all these games are, and they all matter the same.
Smoke, thanks for doing this. Thanks for stopping by, and good luck against the Rough Riders on Sunday.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all for having me.
Taquan Smoke Mizzell, BC Lions running back, has been our guest here at the Rendezvous Pub in Langley. We'll take a short break. On the other side, Nick Kowalski's world-famous BC Lions trivia. You're listening to BC Lions on Tap. Welcome back. This is BC Lions on Tap on AM 730, the Lions Audio Network. It's the Moj, Bob Marjanovic, along with Matt Baker and Nick Kowalski from the Lions Audio Network. Coming to you tonight from the Rendezvous Pub in Langley. Of course, just heard from Lions running back Smoke Mizzell. We're going to get to Kowalski's world-famous trivia. Big shout-out to Wilma. And Ann. So there you go. They were out here and got some pictures taken with Smoke. So big shout out to those two Lions fans who are in attendance. All right. This is what people wait for week in, week out. Nick Kowalski's world famous BC Lions trivia.
I'm changing it up this week.
You're so excited. Come on, Nick. Little pepper in the soup.
Yeah, his door was closed for 2 hours this afternoon. He was hatching this plan.
We gotta get you cranked up a little
better
bit.
Live up to
You may not love this one. It's just based on the 2008 BC Lions team. A year that just happened to be a year where the Lions went into Mosaic in the West semifinal and eliminated the Riders by a score of 33-12. But what I want you guys to do, I want to see how well you guys know this team. So can you guys give me the award winners of this team? The team nominees, 2008.
Brent Johnson.
Nominees. Brent Johnson's an incorrect answer. Let's start with the MOP. Who's the MOP of the 2008 BC Lions?
The MOP.
Is it Casey Printers?
G-Roy
Little pass Casey
nope.
Dickinson?
Nope, that's incorrect.
It's got to be a receiver then.
This might be a tough one. Or this could give it away. The MOP and the MODP are the same player.
Oh, Sully.
Nope.
Cam Wake.
Wake.
How did I?
So there's MOP, MODP. Can you guys name the MOC of that team?
Most of
Canadian?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Claremont?
Nope.
Millington's long gone.
Claremont's close. Incorrect, but it's close.
A receiver then.
That's my drift, yeah.
Canadian receiver in
Ryan
2008.
Thelwell.
You saw this guy Baker recently.
I saw this guy recently.
The guy in front of us seen this guy a lot recently.
G. Roy Simon. Well, no,
Canadian.
we're doing Canadian.
Most Canadian.
Okay, let's come back. Let's come back to that one. Special teams. I'm gonna go Stephon Logan.
That is incorrect. It's a teamer. It's a defensive player.
Wow, this
Iraqi.
Incorrect.
Good guess.
I'm gonna give you Stephon Logan though for rookie. Stephon Logan was a rookie.
Okay. Stephon Logan, because that was the year he exploded.
You guys can get this receiver, hey? This MOC. He's a good receiver too. It's not Jason Claremont though. You guys are gonna kick yourself when you hear this.
Probably.
Paris Jackson.
We saw
1,400 yards that year.
we did
Paris
see
Jackson?
we
Wow.
did see him recently.
Can you guys guess the leading passer on that team 2008?
Buck Pierce?
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay, leading rusher. We're on a roll now. We're on a
Okay,
roll.
so we're not on awards anymore. We're
Well, do
just
you wanna
going
go
leaders.
well-
But we're leading rusher.
Do you have any guesses? Leading rusher, 2008 BC Lions.
Smith.
I'm going to go Logan for that.
Stephen Logan,
Yeah,
correct.
he was a
Wow.
dual threat.
What about
Yeah.
leading receiver? You guys should get this one.
G-Roy.
G-Roy.
Yes. How about the leading tackler? I don't know this player, but I had to look him up.
The leading tackler.
Solly?
Nope. He wasn't there yet, I don't
So
think.
it's not Dante Marsh if it's not someone you know.
It's not Banks. It's not Marsh.
Linebacker, I believe.
Would be big.
Jamal
though.
Johnson.
Nope.
I know this now, too. It's coming. It's not Virgil Robertson.
No way.
No, he's long
that's
gone. That's 94.
Other decade.
No. Not Virgil Robertson. No. I know this. It'll come to me. But it's not coming to me
Javier
right. Javi
Glatt.
Glatt.
Javi
Yeah.
Glatt, yeah.
That wasn't,
How about,
that wasn't who I was thinking.
How about I got three more. So we haven't done the most outstanding offensive lineman yet. That could be a tougher one to get. But you
Rob
guys got
Murphy.
any guesses? Incorrect.
Jimenez.
Jason Jimenez. Yeah, that
Moj
was my
got it.
second one,
Moj got
yeah.
it. What about the most outstanding special teamer? It's not Stephon
Iraqi.
Logan.
It's
Iraqi's incorrect.
It's a teamer, you say, and we
Yeah.
already guessed Iraqi.
Give us
wow.
initials.
IS.
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 Ivan.
No, not Ivan McLennan.
Ivan Shepelov.
It's Ian Smart.
Oh, okay.
Last question.
Outstanding special
That's-
teams.
that,
Wow.
That trivia is like
This is
too
tough.
hard.
That's a tough one.
Okay, we
eh?
got.
Like,
what's
what-
the last?
what-
What about this? What about this? Who was the first round pick that year? He had a good career in the CFL.
2008.
Yeah. Offensive lineman. I thought I'd throw the same.
Not
he's
Dean
a,
Valley.
He's a known CFL name.
Not Dean Valley. Oh boy.
Offensive lineman, no guesses. He's known for playing for Edmonton, I would say.
Justin
Sorensen.
There
Justin
you go, there you
Sorensen.
go.
We
So
got it at the same.
That's a tougher one.
Yeah, good for you.
I'm
That's-
still got to gauge your guys' level of
that
difficulty.
was-
So
that too
2008 Western semifinal. I want to say Ryan Phillips had 2 interceptions. Good job.
You know what?
Right.
Very quickly, I'll get to your trivia next time. Very quickly, game coming up. Next home game, Calgary, or pardon me, Hamilton. What do we got coming up?
World Vision is a sponsor. Superhero Night. We're honoring the first responders, police, fire, armed forces, and for kids, there'll be some superhero mascots coming. So, should be fun.
For more information, people can check out bclions.com. For us, that's a wrap. Thank you to our engineer tonight, Trevor Martinge, working behind the scenes. Also, a big thank you to Smoke Mizzell, Matt Baker, Nick Kowalski. On behalf of those two gentlemen, we want to thank you for listening tonight. You know what I'm going to tell you? Go do what you want to do. Just do us a favor. Be safe. This has been BC Lions on Tap on AM 730 and the Lions Audio Network.